Hi everyone and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Just a quick boxing video here reviewing a fight that took place in the early hours of today, Wednesday the 12th of March, over in Australia, Sydney. It's between former two-time welterweight world champion Keith one-time Thurman of Florida, America, 36 years old, coming into this fight, 3-year layoff, a record of 31 fights, 30 wins, 22 KOs, 1 loss to Manny Pacquiao. He was taking on a 27-year-old Australian from Marrickville, New South Wales, Australia, called Brock Jarvis. Brock Jarvis, young guy, 23 fights, 22 wins, 20 KOs, just the one defeat. I think he'd been knocked out in a round by Liam Parrow, who's a previous world champion at light welterweight. This fight was over 10 rounds, junior middleweight limit of 154 pounds. Going into the fight, there'd been a lot of trash talk, as you would expect with Keith Thurman. He's very vociferous. He's a bit of a character, loves to trash talk people. He was saying that he was going to school the younger man. He was going to knock him out. He was back to his best one more time, is what he was saying. Brock Jarvis, as you would imagine, being a younger guy, he's at home. He felt emboldened. He felt like he was going to do a number on Keith Thurman. He is a big puncher. And he was calling Keith Thurman, what was he saying? Once upon a time, which I thought was quite a humorous take on the Keith Thurman nickname. So yeah, that was the tone of the fight. The stage is set for them to go at it. They went at it this morning, and so to the fight. So first round, Brock Jarvis came out, tried to stick it on Keith Thurman. He was quite aggressive. He looked strong, looking to throw punches. Keith Thurman looked pretty nimble, good on his feet. He's always been very good on his feet. But it was quite a decent first round for Brock Jarvis. I mean, Keith Thurman did land a couple of good shots on Brock Jarvis. I think he may have hurt him as well. But I think Brock Jarvis hurt Keith Thurman too with that overhand shot. I think it was a overhand right, and he followed up with a couple of lefts. And he tried to target the body. Previous Keith Thurman opponents have tried to do that, because he has been hurt once or two times to the body in the past. So I thought it was a good first round, quite lively. They probably went at it a bit more than I thought they were going to be. So yeah, that was a good first round. Second round, Keith Thurman, a bit more circumspect in this round, looked to box, looked to use his feet. As I said, he's got good feet, Keith Thurman. Boxed well behind the jab, landed some sharp punches, had the edge. Brock Jarvis was coming forward, looking to try and go to the body, looking to try and land hooks and overhand rights. But I thought Keith Thurman took the second round. And so to the third round. The third round started pretty much the same as the second round did. However, halfway through the round, Keith Thurman started to land some significant shots on Brock Jarvis. And he landed a 4-punch combination on Brock Jarvis that decked him heavily. Really good combination, very accurate, very hard. Dropped Brock Jarvis, and I thought that might be the end right there. But to be fair to Brock Jarvis, he showed heart, he got up. However, he was in no real state to continue, to be honest, because Keith Thurman raced across the ring, immediately landed another 3-4 punch combination, culminating with a vicious left hook come screw shot, and knocked Brock Jarvis out. So that's it, people. 3-round win for Keith Thurman. Got to say, he looked sharp, man. 36 years, I mean, it was only 3 rounds, so you don't know how the fight would have looked had it have progressed. However, I've got to say, Keith Thurman looked good. He looked well pleased with himself, as you could imagine. He was his usual talkative self in the interviews after the fight. He's calling out Tim Tszyu, Australian former light middleweight champion, who was in attendance. I think he was doing some punditry work. So Keith Thurman raced across the ring, said, I want him next. And, you know, those two were going back and forth. So I think it seems that would be possibly the next fight for Keith Thurman, and to go back to Australia and to fight Tim Tszyu as he makes his way, attempts anyway, to make his way back up the rankings. But yeah, this was a very impressive performance by Keith Thurman, especially when you consider he had been out of the ring for 3 years. So to come back, go abroad, take on a young guy, hungry, guy who can punch, guy who had a decent record, who was there to win. So for Keith Thurman to come in and do a number on him like that, I thought that was a very good performance. so he can feel well pleased with himself. And obviously, he does have options now. Like I said, the fight with Tim Tszyu is a possibility, or he might go back to America and have a couple of fights there at 154 pounds. I don't think at this stage in his career, Keith Thurman, 36 years old, where he's going to drop down to welterweight, where he's a former two-time world champion. I think the 154 division suits him fine at this age. He looks a decent size for the weight. And with his skills and his speed and his footwork, I think he will give a lot of people problems. I'm not necessarily saying he will win a title, but he'll definitely be, I mean, he's obviously a name, but I think he does have the skills and the experience and the power to cause a lot of the top 154 guys problems. Like I said, whether he'll go on to win a world title, that's another matter. We'll have to see him in a few more fights. But I was impressed. I thought he looked good. He looked sharp. Tremendous finish, highlight reel finish. Third round knockout. As I said, he will be very full of himself, and so he should be. But yeah, listen, hopefully you can catch the fight. I saw it live. Hopefully you guys get a chance to watch it. Let me know what you think. Was you impressed? Do you think one time is back, or do you think the level of opponent wasn't that good for you to make a proper judgment at this stage? I guess people will say Brock Jarvis, who is he? You know what I mean? He's already been knocked out by Liam Parrow at junior welterweight. What's he doing fighting up at 154? But listen, this was a potential banana skin for Keith Thurman. I mean, he was expected to win, but you never know with these young guys. Brock Jarvis can punch. He came into the fight with a lot of ambition. He talked himself up. But it was all about one time tonight, man. Keith, one time is back. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and just want to say as well, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.